Welcome to part 2 of
Wax on, wax off. Yeah!
Hopefully you've already watched part 1 of how to make your own furniture wax, where I made this. It's a natural color paste wax. I'm going to test this on 3 samples of wood, and then I'm also going to test the dark walnut paste wax I made with the Lustra brand and see how they compare. A lot of people, including woodworkers, just don't understand wax. They don't know how to use it, when to use it, or even why to use it. So I'm going to answer those questions as well. I hope you'll stick around. Here's a board with a polyurethane finish. There's often dust and tiny particles. You can feel this as you run your hand across it. However, we're going to use the wax we made in order to get a perfectly smooth finish. First, wait until the finish is fully cured. Now this might take a week or so. Before applying the wax, I'm going to prepare the surface by using a little paint thinner and rub it down with 400 grit sandpaper, just lightly. Now for the wax. Take some 00 steel wool and apply the wax. Move it back and forth in the direction of the grain. Apply the wax thoroughly while applying a little pressure. You should end up with a thin coat. Let it dry. The wax will become hazy. You can see what I'm talking about here from the side view. This shouldn't take long, maybe 5 to 15 minutes, depending on the wax. Next, take some 00 steel wool. Wipe the steel wool back and forth, again in the direction of the grain. This will allow you to buff off the wax. Do this until the wax haze is gone. It might take a few minutes. It's not extremely easy, so don't rush. Also, keep in mind that this method is going to take the edge off of a glossy finish. But the end result is a beautiful, smooth finish. Next up, raw wood. Until today, I've really never used wax on raw wood, but I kind of like the finish it provides. In some applications, it may be exactly what you're looking for. For the raw wood, the process is different. There's no need for steel wool or paint thinner. The heat from my hand actually allows the wax to penetrate the wood grain. Apply it thoroughly, again though, not too thick. After letting it dry, it can be buffed off using a clean rag. Again, this is going to take a little time, so be patient. On the bare wood, you end up with a simple but rich and deep looking finish. For projects where you don't want a thick glossy finish, this might just be a great alternative. Now, to test the Lustra against my homemade wax. For the first test, I'm going to apply it to a piece of unfinished raw pine. I'll let it dry and then buff it off with a rag. Same application method for my wax as the Lustra. Right off, I can see that the stain I used is a different color. But what I'm more concerned with is the final product. Both of them feel almost identical to me. Mine did take a little bit longer to dry before I could buff it. For my final test, I want to see how the Lustra and my wax are going to compare on a scratched up chair seat. Here on this side, I'm applying my wax. On the other side, I'll use the Lustra. Both work out pretty well. I think the Lustra, though, has a slight edge. It might be due to the stain color matching more closely. Alright, let me sum it up for you. For the natural color that I made, I didn't really have anything to compare it to. I didn't have the natural Bry wax or the Lustra, but I think it did come out pretty well. When I put it on the raw wood, I was able to buff it to a nice shine, and I was pretty pleased with the final result. As for the walnut, I think mine was able to compare to the Lustra pretty well. The color is different, but the texture, the feel is almost identical. As for the scratches on the seat, I don't think either product did a great job. That's not really what it's intended for, but I think it's better than when it started. The only big difference I noticed was that mine took a little bit longer to dry. Now, that might be because the Lustra brand uses a solvent called toluene, whereas I used the mineral spirits. Now, you might have a better recipe or some other ideas. Let me know what you come up with. I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, well, give it a thumbs up anyway. I hope I earned your subscription today. Thanks for watching Alley Picked. Until next time, I'll meet you in the alley.
Wax on, wax off.
Oh, try it again. It fell out of your hand.